Cheating and cheaters prosper in college athletics. The Florida Board of Governors, they've overruled. He gave in to the woke mob, and he got slapped. I don't know why the University of Florida wanted him. Michigan men, 2 words, my ass. I don't understand why the University of Florida thought they wanted him in the first place. The free country of Florida, the free state of Florida. You know, usually, and I do mean usually, like mostly, like damn near all the time, I've said this forever, cheating and cheaters prosper in college athletics. They always have. Some of your legendary coaches, you can look this up, that have made the Final Four, that have made the Hall of Fame, have been suspended, have cheated their ass off both legally and illegally. Yeah, you can look it up. But nothing compares in terms of cheating to the Jim Harbaugh scandal because of its weight. Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, if you famously remember, was going to get his ass fired, couldn't beat anyone, then a guy named Connor Stallions decided to steal everybody's signs. In an elaborate operation that got basically Harbaugh out of college football, him suspended as well. The head coach at Michigan men, is now under great scrutiny and probably going to be suspended this year again. And everybody's been fired. It's the biggest cheating scandal ever. Saved a guy's job, made Harbaugh a hero, and won them a national championship. Is this karma? Because the guy behind the whole damn thing, that's right, the guy behind the whole damn thing the buck stops here. He's the president of the university. I mean, he is. Santa Ono was the president, and he was out in front. Yay, rah, go fight, win, as Harbaugh was cheating his ass off. Well, guess what? The Florida Board of Governors, they've overruled, listen to this, they've overruled Santana Ono being the new chancellor / president / whatever the hell he is at the University of Florida. Ono resigned at Michigan. He was paraded around at Florida, except one thing happened. They forgot, ladies and gentlemen, they forgot there was a vote. And the vote went no. They didn't want this ringleader of cheats to be their next president. It's fantastic. Here's the deal. Ono was previously the president at Michigan, as I said. He oversaw the Harbaugh cheating scandal, but it does not stop there. He was a major proponent of DEI policies and organizations on campus while being weak on anti-Israel protests. He basically, he gave in to the woke mob. And he got bitch slapped by the University of Florida as times they are changing. I don't know why the University of Florida wanted him, given his past record and his past weakness and all things Florida stands for. I don't know why they would have thought that Ono would have been the guy. Yeah, I don't get it. I get maybe for Florida it's prestigious to steal away the president of Michigan, but Michigan ain't what Michigan is purporting itself to be. It ain't what you think. Michigan men, 2 words, my ass. Anyway, even though my son is a Michigan man and I paid over $300,000 for him to go there, I don't care. That place has been cheapened by Jim Harbaugh, period. Biggest cheating scandal ever. And when I say period, I mean it. Damn it. After being questioned by the Board of Governors for 3 hours on Tuesday about his past approval of DEI programs on the University of Michigan campus, along with his allowing of a pro-Palestine encampment for nearly a full month that led to multiple protests, the group decided against Ono being confirmed. See, you can stand with the other wokies in a job and say, for whatever the reason, you're going to allow anti-Israel protests, which make it pro-terrorist protests. You can stand there on your little campus with all your other wokies, which is all Michigan really is, and be a hero. But when you go somewhere else, somewhere like the University of Florida that espouses common sense, in a state that espouses common sense, it ain't so good for you. No, but here's my thing. If you knew his record, and I did know his record, I paid attention to it more than just a hardball thing because I wanted to find out what kind of dirtbag this guy is. I don't understand why the University of Florida thought they wanted him in the first place. Given what Governor DeSantis and others have done in that state, the free country of Florida, the free state of Florida, Now you're going to bring in some DEI pro-Hamas kind of dude? Doesn't make no sense to me. Anyway, here's what Ono had to say last month. I'm excited to be the leading edge of return in education at the University of Florida and in the state of Florida. Really? They had no education before your sorry ass, your arrogant ass, your ridiculous, cheating allowed, Israel protesting ass was going to come to Florida? What, they didn't have a school until your sorry ass was going to be there? The fact is, some of my past remarks about DEI do not reflect what I believe. Then why would I want you as a president? If you're out there making statements to pacify the woke, it means you have no backbone. So why would I want you as our president to lead them back? Why? Why would I want? It do not reflect what I believe. That's like the guy in the NFL that rapes robs. That doesn't reflect who I am. No, well, it does. I don't understand. And here is his excuse. And that evolution did not take place overnight. It was shaped over a year and a half of thinking, discussions, listening to faculty, staff, and students and their thoughts on the DEI program. See, you can say that to people that aren't A, open-minded, or B, totally on your side. You say it to people that are on your side, they're going to say, that's great. Oh, yeah, see, he's smart. He's a deep thinker. But if you go with people that are common sense, i.e. Republicans, i.e. conservatives, they're going to say, yeah, bullshit. You did this. Finger in the wind, saw which way the wind was blowing, which way the wind was swirling. And you came to the conclusion, for saving my own ass, I've got to try to bullshit the troops. Well, at the University of Florida and the Board of Governors are not going to be bullshitted by this loudmouth douchebag. No, they were not. It's also worth noting Ono allowed the pro-Palestine encampment to stay on Michigan's campus for nearly 30 days. It led to harsh pushback from campus officials, along with those against his hire at Florida. Trey Wallace is all over this, and good for Trey. Because remember, Ono, look at him. Oh, man, you can see his picture. We're not allowed to criticize him. Bullshit. He's full of crap. What the hell? This is Donald Trump Jr.'s post on X. Have the decision makers at UF lost their minds? This woke psycho may be a perfect fit for a communist school in California. I love the Trumps. But how is he even being considered, that's my point, for this role in Florida? Every single member of the Florida Board of Governors should vote against him. Not only should the Board of Governors vote against him, but the Board of Governors, or whoever presented this man, you talk about wrong fit, wrong place, wrong time. Whoever presented this man should be looked into. Why? Why did they feel the need to bring this guy in front of their Board of Governors based on his history? Here's Michigan football, the flagship, the front door, as they say, to any major school. Connor Stallion sign-stealing scandal. Jim Harbaugh's recruitment violation. Former defensive coordinator Matt Weiss arrested for computer crimes. Former assistant director of recruiting Glenn Schembeckler. Oh, Shemby. Fired for racist tweets. Former football staffer Alex Yud arrested for attempting to solicit a 13-year-old girl. Not only that, he hired Sherrod Moore, who's the biggest cheat in college football next to Harbaugh during this entire deal. Hell, Moore's already been suspended more times than not. Moore's going to get suspended again. And yet you want to hire this guy? And again, it isn't only about football. I can hear people, you're breaking about football. No, we talked about the DEI stupidity. We talked about him allowing people to stand with terrorists. No. This is all on Ono's watch. Good for the University of Florida. University of Florida is on a roll. Basketball national championship. They seem to have a good freshman, now sophomore quarterback. They got rid of a douchebag, didn't allow him to go and become their president. Good for them. They haven't been on this kind of roll since Billy Donovan and Urban Meyer were leading the football and basketball programs. And they were winning national championships in both. And the weather was nice all the time. Yeah, good for the University of Florida. Oh, no, crawl back. Will you please? Just crawl back. Please. All right, let's go to something else. I like this too. Get the hell out of there with this crap, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's Post. The Post-Gazette's Gary Gulag is mad. Oh, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's when Jerry Gulag, whatever his name is, when he gets pissed, he's going to write stuff. The Pittsburgh organization, the Steelers organization, have sent a letter to angry fans and season ticket holders who complained about the appearance of quarterback Mason Rudolph and special teams captain Miles Killebrew at the Trump rally in Pittsburgh last Friday. The same team that is linked to Aaron Rodgers has a problem with this. Man, what are these folks, communists? Don't support our president. What? We should all be supporting our president. What a beautiful country this would be if we supported our president and those that didn't support the president did it in respectful, decent ways. Not just simply being mad, man, I keep going. I don't know about you, but my 401k is surging, baby. Yeah, it is. Here's an excerpt from the letter. We understand that a recent rally in Pittsburgh has generated a range of reaction from our fans. Our alumni and current players make their own individual decisions that reflect their views, and they do not necessarily represent the view of the entire Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Thank you again for sharing your thoughts. We appreciate your passion and continued support of the team. Yeah! Man, what a country. A minority of folk gets mad because somebody attends a Trump rally, a president of the United States rally. You got to put out a letter to fans. Oh, okay. All right. Screw off. Toss off, as they say overseas. If you want to go support the president of the United States, that should seem to be patriotic. I mean, crime is down in major cities as much as 26% in terms of murders in New York. I talked to my buddy Pete the cop the other day. He said as soon as Trump came in, the MS-13 and that crazy-ass Venezuelan game were on their way out here in Indianapolis. I don't know about you, but it took one swipe of a pen, not an auto pen, but a pen, to clean up immigration, to clean up the border. I don't know. As I said, tariffs have brought in billions to the United States, and, of course, Doge is doing his job, but anything Trump touches, there are a faction, a very loud, stupid, blue-haired, fat girl faction of people that don't like it. You know what? I got two words for them. Same thing I said to Mellencamp, suck it, people. It's everybody's right to support who in the hell they want. I support the right of people that don't like Donald Trump. Good. But don't get stupid with it. What can I tell you? With pushback from a portion of the team's franchise, it's also worth noting that the Steelers' ownership has deep ties to the Democratic Party. There you go, Obama mama. That includes late Chairman Dan Rooney, who former President Barack Obama appointed as a U.S. ambassador to Ireland in 2009. Great. I don't think one Republican, probably not one, maybe one, in Pittsburgh gave a rat's ass that Dan Rooney was appointed special envoy to wherever the hell he was appointed special envoy to. I don't think anybody cared that he was a U.S. ambassador to Ireland. See, Republicans have a little common sense. We understand. We don't get all edgy, itchy, ridiculous when somebody supports president. Of course, Obama was black. You weren't allowed to protest anything, but he was half white, so that half you could protest. Editorial shot from me. Here's Trump welcoming Mason Rudolph and Miles Killebrew on stage.
Your Steelers, and I happen to think a really good quarterback is a man named Mason Rudolph, and I think he's going to get a big shot. He's tall, he's handsome, got a great arm, and I have a feeling he's going to be the guy. So Mason Rudolph, come up here. And also a safety who's an absolute killer, Miles Killebrew. Do you know Miles? Come on up here, Miles. Come on up here, fellas. What a team, huh?
Yeah, why not? Who cares? I mean, people are losing their mind. Here's Le'Veon Bell, couple legends, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, arriving at a Trump rally in October. Look at this. Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. Make America great again. That's right. That's right. My new slogan on actually here and my other show, make airwaves great again. MAGA, baby. Look, I don't know. I get it. Steeler fans aren't too happy with anything right now. Mike Tomlin has probably been there too long. They don't have a quarterback. That quarterback, Mason Rudolph, is not going to do what Donald Trump said. They're begging, pleading, and whining, bitching, and moaning to get Aaron Rodgers in. It's dark times in Pittsburgh. But hey, at least you had Donald Trump in your area, which boosts your economics. And you had your quarterback and your special teams guy on stage with him. And legends are supporting him. It's good to be in Pittsburgh. Why not? I mean, just stop it. Who cares? Support who you want. Man. ESPN is saying the Trump administration's student visa policy is set to interrupt college athletics. All right. Okay. I mean, look, let's be honest. If Trump deported 6 people, all with, well, I don't know, criminal backgrounds that were basketball players, football, baseball, whatever players, ESPN would bitch about it. Now, if Barack Obama did the same thing, ESPN would praise him as a great leader. If Joe Biden did it, they'd praise him as a great leader. ESPN's no different than anybody else. If Trump does it, college coaches and international athletes are stuck in an unnerving limbo, saying they're unsure how to plan for recent changes in U.S. student visa procedures that could potentially wreak havoc on their rosters. Yeah, what do you want me to do? Yeah. I mean, that's probably the least of the worries, right? Keeping terrorists out is probably the most. And if you looked at anything, particularly when Biden was allowing every single human being in, the biggest group were college-age Chinese peoples coming in here. Now, I am no security expert. I don't get the plans every day. I don't get the top secret files, but Trump does. Trump and his people do. And I've come to trust them. You know, I don't trust what was going on in the Biden administration, where anybody and everybody and anybody that wanted to could walk right in the door. But a lot of countries were sending their college-age men here to do stuff. A lot of soldiers were coming in college age. Now that spigot has been turned off. And I'm going to trust Trump here. I'm going to say, hey, look, yeah, okay, Tennessee Martin might be affected in basketball. Great. Who cares? I feel bad for some of the players. I do. Coming over here, players have always come over here. My college roommate came over here, Uwe Blop from Germany. But hey, gonna let too many people in. It's an unintended consequence of Biden's ridiculous jackassery. It's an unintended consequence of people like ESPN supporting Biden's ridiculous jackassery. Some coaches told ESPN that as much as a quarter of their roster might not be allowed to enter the country this fall if the pause persists. Schulman is the head coach at Tennessee Martin. He says the main guidance we've gotten is don't freak out yet, and yet has been the key word. Okay, well, I mean, again, this is an unintended consequence. There are always unintended consequences to idiotic decisions. And you allow every single swinging dick to come in through the border, guess what? When the person comes in that restores order, there's going to be unintended consequences. So if Jeremy Schulman and others don't like it, well, don't vote for idiots. How about that? Don't vote for dumbasses that are going to let every swinging you-know-what into our country. It ain't that hard. Schulman, who expects to have 12 international players this year, the most of any Division I basketball team, said he has 4 players who are now unsure if they will make it to campus. Well, what do you want me to tell you? I mean, pretty simple, and I made my stance pretty clear. Number one, I don't care. Number two, that's an unintended consequences of idiots voting for an idiot and putting a dumbass into office. Simple. Not that hard. USA versus the world. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver went on FS1's Breakfast Ball Wednesday morning and announced that the 2026 NBA All-Star Game will be United States versus the world. The NBA hopes to have similar success to the NHL's four-nation face-off that occurred this past February. Here's Silver confirming it.
But what about the concept of USA versus the world? Is that something that we will see possibly next year as you continue to try to tinker with the weekend?
Yes. So next year, as part of our new media deals, the All-Star Game returns to NBC, where it was when we were younger. And it so happens that next season we'll be smack in the middle of the Winter Olympics. So in fact, the game will be on NBC, and the very day we're on, the lead-in will be Winter Olympic events, and then coming out of the All-Star game, which is now going to be in the afternoon instead of the evening, there'll be more Olympic events. So what better time to feature some form of USA against the world? I'm not exactly sure what the format will be yet. I mean, obviously paid a lot of attention to what the NHL did with the
which was a huge success.
Which was a huge success.
The Frozen Four that was awesome.
It was great.
But also, going back, last summer, our Olympic competition was a huge success. I mean, those games, USA, Serbia, USA,
I love
France.
watching it.
And by the way, to
I'm
your
obsessed
point
with it.
about the European style, I mean, a more physical style of basketball, a 40-minute game, which I
is
won't
why we
reference
didn't
again.
blow
You love the 40-minute game.
I just said it happened to be a 40-minute game in the Olympics.
Keep 12-minute quarters.
But yeah, we're not changing it. But
Thank
it
you.
was, but I think that's another example.
Yeah, Charles Barkley was on our show last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and said, United States don't want to do that because they're going to get their ass kicked. You got Giannis, you got Jokic, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Canada. You got a lot of great players. That'll be interesting. Do I think this will fix the NBA All-Star game? I think United States players are so entitled, so ridiculous, so childish that no, I don't think so. Maybe the first year. I'll give them that. I'll give them the first year that players might play hard because there is an uprising against the NBA All-Star game. But I think over time, particularly if they get their ass kicked, United States players will be punks. That's what I really do. I don't think they're punks in general. I think they'll be punks in terms of an All-Star game. Here's why I use the word punks. All these stars, whether it's Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, you name it, the NBA brought all these guys in to talk to the NBA All-Stars, the current group, and say, look, respect the game, play hard. This game wasn't and hasn't been about you. We got to play for the people that came before us. Competition, act like it. They literally laughed at these guys, the current crop of NBA dudes, literally laughed at the former stars of the NBA. Now, maybe that's just human nature. Maybe that Bird, Magic, and all those guys laughed at the previous stars. I don't know. But what I do know is this group has failed the NBA. They failed the NBA All-Star game, and it's really not their fault. Money is so great. I mean, when I saw Karl Anthony Towns is basically averaging in a 4-year deal $50 to $55 million a year, I thought this is asinine, ridiculous. Nobody needs that kind of money, particularly a guy that is a good player, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, do I think it'll fix it? Maybe for a year. Who do I think will win? I don't know. Probably the world, I suppose. But it is interesting to me. Nobody has, in my opinion, screwed up their league publicly more than Adam Silver. I believe Adam Silver to be the worst commissioner in all of sports, at least publicly. Behind the scenes, maybe he's doing a great job. Maybe he's put out 1 million fires. I don't know. But what I see publicly, he sucks. He's a mouth. He's a woke mouth. He is a willy-nilly, gutless, spineless man, is the way I see it. Maybe I'm wrong. No. But I do not think it will fix it long term, maybe for a year. Give the Pacers their respect. Isn't that what we're supposed to say? Give the Pacers their respect. Scott Van Pelt took aim at his own network. Wow, SVP with balls and notably first take over the lack of coverage for the Eastern Conference champs, saying signs were clearly there that the Pacers had all the makings of an elite team. Maybe. Maybe they were. I'll bet money that First Take hasn't done any segments on the Pacers during this season. That's not knocking them because I know, having done our show, we didn't lead SportsCenter with the Pacers like ever. That's on all of us who missed it. Van Pelt tries so hard. He's so cute. He tries so hard to be, the after-the-fact guy. He's a nice guy, does a good job. You all love him. But, look, there really weren't. Here's the deal. First impressions are the most lasting, and the Pacers really sucked to start the season. They were kind of a disorganized, banged-up, didn't play defense team. But if you were paying attention after January 1st or after the All-Star break, whatever it was, then you saw a really good basketball team. But I don't think anybody saw an elite basketball team. And if you look at what they've done with these last-second miracle, last-minute comebacks, kind of supports that. But I get what Van Pelt's doing. Van Pelt's trying to be a guy. I get it. The things that we collectively miss is you've got a guy in Rick Carlisle who's an NBA coach who's won a title. You got a guy in Pascal Siakam who's been on a title-winning team and a significant contributor who's scoring 30-plus multiple times in a conference final and won the MVP. Then you have Halliburton, who's an all-star starter. Checked a lot of boxes for what we in media should be celebrating. But it's not ESPN's way. It's not Scott Van Pelt's way. That's not what they do at ESPN. I mean, they play the hits. They would rather have LeBron go down with some kind of injury and talk about it than talk about a team like the Pacers or even the NBA Finals that included the Pacers or OKC. They would rather Brett Favre send dick pics again. And next thing you know, that's ESPN's way. That's Van Pelt's way. That's what you do. I worked there. I did shows there. You play the hits. So for Van Pelt to act like any of these shows should have, well, that would be if he worked at a network like ours, where you didn't just cater to what you sell. And what they're selling is LeBron and Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers makes an appearance. It's gonna be the lead story. Tiger Woods gets in another crash. It's going to be the lead story. Play the hits. Worry about teams like the Pacers. Knicks have one good run. You've heard Charles Barkley say, hey, man, that network over there and those dumbasses, his words, not mine, they were telling us how good the Lakers are. That's what ESPN, Van Pelt, and those shows do at ESPN. It's not a knock. It's just what they do. They all do. Hey, we're going to come back and we're going to talk to LeBron. Doesn't matter that their team got beat by 100. We got to talk. That's what they do. It is exactly what they do. I've tried to make an equivalent in my head of if there's an NFL team with a coach who's won a Super Bowl, players all-pro, all-starter, player who was a major contributor to a Super Bowl winning team. They've never been ignored the way the Pacers mostly were. Oh, please. Just stop. Doris Burke, ESPN. America's worst broadcast. She's just horrible. Doris Burke, she's a nice lady, though. I worked with her, really liked her. Doris Burke, according to Yahoo Sports and according to Andrew Marchand, Doris Burke's spot on ESPN's lead broadcasting team is not guaranteed for next year, per Andrew Marchand. Now, Doris is a DEI hire. There's no question. She doesn't really give you anything you didn't know about basketball. She's a young or an older lady that's a nice lady. She takes a train to the Garden to do games. She's wonderful to be around. Terrific as a sideline porter, but anything other than that, she's over her depth. I've worked with her. She's nice. She's great. ESPN executives will debate if they feel Burke is better on a two-person team as opposed to a three-person team. Three-person teams suck. But if you think about it, you got a white dude in Bream, older dude, a lady, and African-American. It's the worst big-time broadcasting team in America. It may be the worst big-time broadcasting team ever assembled in America. Now, by big-time, I don't mean they're big-time. I mean doing big-time events. But again, Van Pelt can say whatever he wants about the Pacers, but this is another example of what ESPN does. All right, let's see. We got Mike Bream. Got to have a woman. Got to have African-American. I'm not being figurative here. I'm being literal here. And when Ryan Russillo the other day said, well, you know, inside the NBA, when it moves to ESPN, might replace Kenny Smith with what's-her-face. I can't remember her name. The Asian lady. I'm looking right at her, and I can't remember her name. That's how Mina Kimes. If he wasn't joking. Russillo worked there for a long time. He understands. Wait a second. We have two African Americans, a white guy. We don't have a woman in here. We got the perfect woman, an Asian woman. Why don't we move her in here? It'll make it interesting. No, it won't. But that's ESPN. I mean, you're not, I get it. Van Pelt's got his thing. It's cool. It's fun. It's great. But don't argue about not having the Pacers in there. Play the hits. Pacers aren't the hits. And we're not mad about it. Not even a little bit. I mean, look, the truth of the matter is somebody now, I don't know if anybody watches Van Pelt anymore. I don't know if anybody watches sport. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I don't. That's 2.5 men for me at night if I'm watching a game as I'm watching a game. But if anybody is, we all know the deal. Hey, get Windhorst down here to talk about LeBron. Simple. Justice on the horizon. This is a sad story, actually. A Los Angeles court has awarded former Cy Young Award winner Trevor Bauer $310,000 from Lindsey Hill, the woman who falsely accused Bauer of sexual assault. Lindsey Hill should go to jail. She should go to jail right now. I mean, she ruined a man's career. She cost a man millions, and Lindsey Hill did it intentionally and lied about it, she should go to jail. There's no reason Lindsey Hill, the little whore that kept Trevor Bauer, and Bauer is it's not victimless. I mean, you hook up with someone like Lindsey Hill and you're a Major League Baseball player, better be very careful. He wasn't. So Lindsey Hill gets to go be a jackass. Lindsey Hill has to pay. She will never pay. They never do. Meanwhile, Trevor Bauer is still banned from Major League Baseball. What's Rob Manfred doing? What the hell? I mean, Trevor Bauer's been cleared. It's proven that this little whatever the hell she is lied like hell, tried to ruin a man's career, tried to get some money for herself. It's why I always tell you, how many times does this have to happen? Before you never, ever believe the woman, never believe the guy, believe the evidence. That's what the court just did. Trevor Bauer has won his lawsuit against Lindsey Hill for falsely claiming that Bauer paid her any monetary money to settle their original lawsuit. She's ordered to pay him $309,000 in damages. Now, the only money ever exchanged between the two is Hill paying Bauer $309,000. Bauer still has never paid a cent. I talked to Rob Dibble about this yesterday. He said, look, I wouldn't mind having Bauer as a teammate, but I would tell him, you got to cut the crap. You got to be serious about your craft. You know, that second alter ego, social media ego's got to go. And maybe he's learned his lesson. So to sum it up, Lindsey Hill has now been ordered to pay Bauer, who has been arrested, is being charged with assault and abuse with an outstanding warrant for, I guess for her arrest, she's getting arrested. Bauer's other false accuser is currently being charged with committing fraud against him, and most importantly, Bauer has never been arrested, charged with a single crime, or paid even a cent to an accuser. How about that? Lindsey Hill, ordered to pay Bauer, and has been arrested, and is being charged with assault and abuse with an outstanding warrant. Guys, be careful, man. Girls, be careful. Be careful out there. It's amazing to me. Now, it's astounding to me. Text messages and photos from the morning after the alleged April and May 2021 sexual assaults, which Hill claimed involved non-consensual assault and battery during consensual encounters, appeared to contradict her accusations. Hill addressed the settlement on X, stating, he will never see a cent from me. Well, of course not, because you're a dirtbag. You're just another in a long line of people trying to get over on professional athletes, both male and female. Hell, Caitlin Clark had a stalker that had to get arrested. I mean, look, that's why when the whole Me Too, Believe Every Woman thing came out, not me. But again, I have a 25-year prosecutor at my disposal as a sister. You know what I mean? And she told us, don't believe the woman. Don't believe the man. Don't believe any of it. Believe the damn evidence. All right, it's Thursday. It's day of, so let's get it. Oh, wait. This is unbelievable. This is un-effing believable. Everybody been wondering where Jean-Pierre, whatever the hell her name is, Karine Jean-Pierre, that fraud of a DEI hire that was press secretary for Biden. You ever wonder where she went? Nobody did. Nobody gave a rat's ass. She was literally incapable of answering a basic question. She was an African-American lesbian, the perfect hire for that douchebag operation that Biden ran for 4 years. She's reemerged announcing that she no longer is a Democrat while hyping her new book about the broken Biden administration. Is that some shit? Is that some shit? So this woman was lying for a living, got paid to lie, just like Jake Tapper, and now wants to make money off her lies. Here's this clown discussing her new book, and nobody will say shit except for OutKick.
And the reason I wrote this book, coming out of the White House, serving as White House press secretary was an honor and a privilege. But since I have left, the people that come up to me, strangers that come up to me just across the country as I'm traveling, and sometimes right in my neighborhood, at a grocery store, supermarket, airport, my daughter's school, the number one question they ask me is, Karine, how do we get out of this? How do we protect our democracy? How do we protect vulnerable communities among us? What do we do next? Because we don't have answers here. That's what they ask me. And this is my answer. And what I mean by that is, in an era of misinformation, disinformation, the regressiveness of social policy, what we're seeing currently right now, what I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass. And that's what I've done. And that's what this book does. And here's the truth. And here's how I will lay it out to you. I think we need to stop thinking in boxes and think outside of our boxes and not be so partisan. And the way that I see moving forward in this space that we're in right now is, if you are willing to stand side by side with me, regardless of your political, how you identify politically, and as long as you respect the community that I belong to and vulnerable communities that I respect, I will be there with you. I will move forward with you. And that is, I think, so important. So this book, Independent, it's about looking outside of boxes, not just always being in a partisan stance. And how do we move forward together in a compassionate way, in a way that really, truly cares about people? October 21st.
What a bunch of bullshit. What a complete bunch of bullshit. Oh, thank God you're standing with me, you lying posse. I mean, you lied to the American people. So Donald Trump has not been in office but 100 and some days. And she's really thought long and hard about this, and she already has a book. What a lying piece of shit. What she said right there is total bullshit. It's a word salad that means absolutely nothing. How do we get out of this was the only thing that mattered. How do I get out of a legacy of bullshit? How do I get out of a legacy of lying? How do I get out of a legacy of being a complete DEI, nonsensical, unworthy to be in the job hire? How do I get out of clearing my bullshit reputation? Oh, as long as we do certain things, she'll stand with me. I don't want your lying ass to stand with me. I don't want your bullshitting ass to stand with me. I don't want your knowingly corrupt ass to stand with me. I want to stand with decent people that have earned the job, do a good job on a daily basis, not some lying piece of shit that's trying to make money off of her own lies. She and Jake Tapper can suck it, both of them. No, they can suck it. Here is a snippet. Jean-Pierre, whatever the fuck her name is, didn't come to her decision to be an independent lightly. Yeah. 2 presidents, Obama, Biden. She takes us through the 3 weeks that led to the Biden abandoning his bid for the second term and the betrayal by the Democratic Party led us to his decision. It's a hard-hitting yet hopeful critique. Shut up. She lied then, she'll lie now. Jean-Pierre defines what it means to be part of a growing percent of our fractured electorate that is independent. Yeah, riveting stuff. What she just said is such bullshit, such incredible bullshit. It means nothing. I'll stand with you. Don't. Do me a favor. Don't stand with me. Stand with all of the douchebags that you lied for.